And welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
Hey, I'm Eric Stromer.
And, it happens every time. The holidays come and go. You're invited to someone's place.
Yeah.
Right? You might have some people over, but you might go to someone else's place.
Well, yeah, and you have the choice to either show up empty-handed and be a complete and total loser, or bring something.
And be gracious.
And what everybody should do.
And that's what you're going to do.
And that's what you're going to do.
And that's what you're going to do.
If you don't do it, then we're going to beat you with hoses.
We're going to just, a wet noodle,
That's
silly,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people go, oh my gosh, I'm now stressing over, well, what the heck do I bring?
Right.
Because first, let's just talk about kind of host and hostess gift things.
Right.
Well, sure, a bottle of wine is always the go-to classic because you can never have too much wine.
No.
It's always going to be appreciated.
If it's a nice bottle, it's especially fine. If it's like a box of wine, don't bother.
Although some boxes have gotten a little bit better. You know what I mean?
I'll even give you the twist off cap. I actually am a fan of the twist off cap.
It's not like Almaden.
No.
You know?
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I sure do. Yeah.
But it's gotten better. So pick a moderately priced varietal from a local wine shop. I mean, we have a little great wine shop just down the street, and it's fun to kind of get to know the wine experts and say, well, what do you think? And
that is true.
Get us a couple of, we know they like these flavors.
Sure. And you can do a white and a red. That'd be even better.
Yeah.
Right?
A crisp like Sauvignon Blanc, too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Any of those.
And then a delightful Syrah or a Cab or whatever you need. They'll tell you.
After wine, another really good and a common hostess gift is a bottle of a nice alcohol or even a liqueur. One time we brought as a gift, and it was really a popular gift. It was a chocolate tequila.
Oh, wow.
Kind of different.
So
right?
Pre-mixed? It wasn't custom?
It was premixed,
came that way. Oh, wow.
And then we've also brought like a Godiva liqueur. I mean, these are like super fancy, just a little sip, and you might maybe put that in with like some, I don't know what.
Throw it in the old coffee after
You might
the
put
meal.
it in the coffee. You might put it with some vodka, have a chocolate martini.
You might take it in a Boda bag when you go tobogganing after the Thanksgiving celebration. I'm just saying.
But any of these make, hey, for $25, $35, it's a nice special.
And they're going to ask you back because you brought a lovely gift.
Very nice.
It's not like, they were okay, but, they didn't bring anything.
Well, I mean, heck, think about the cook. I mean, they are slaving in the kitchen, And we have friends that have us over, and a lot of times we'll say, well, don't bring anything. And then you almost feel guilty that you haven't brought something in terms of the part of the meal.
Yeah.
So now then, okay, we really feel like we've got to bring a couple of great hostess gifts to kind of compensate.
And you don't want him to be like my brother who comes and brings nothing and then falls asleep on my couch and doesn't say anything.
No, we're not going to use him as a role model. How about a box of macaroons? Okay. Macaroons have really made a comeback. Have you noticed?
Oh, I sure have. By the way, macaroons are my favorite.
They're so yummy.
For any of our listeners out there, if you ever want to
send a box or two
just send me a macaroons box.
Because they're just I think I grew up with my mom loving that coconut flavor, that toasted coconut flavor. It's so sweet.
They're not half bad for you either. It's just coconut.
Well, kind of a lot of sugar rush.
A little sugar.
but it sure is yummy, scrumptious,
yes,
and they taste almost buttery.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, so that is a delicate, beautiful, scrumptious, memorable gift. Growing up with See's candies, that's something that my aunt would always bring as a thank you. In fact, you remember the See's candy lollipops?
Sure.
Did you ever get those?
Yeah, I did.
So maybe, where you live, there's just a favorite candy brand.
Yeah.
That's always, I think, something kind of nice.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. A box of great candies.
I won't hate. I'm not a hater.
Yeah. Wine charms?
Go ahead.
Wine charms?
Yeah. You mean to discern whose wine is whose?
I mean, a nice, beautiful set of charms, 10, 20, however many they're going to be at the party. And then the host or hostess can break it open and use them right now as people are,
that's a good idea.
Sipping on champagne and wine.
Yeah. And I also like, really high-end, delicious coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Even a whole little kit, like you could get one of those little the cone that you can put on top of the single cup.
Mm-hmm.
A little box of filters. Get yourself some fresh ground delicious coffee, and then you show up and go, hey, here's a little custom coffee maker.
How about even coffee from around the world? You could show up with maybe 3 different kinds,
That's international.
Huh?
That's international.
International, yeah. Exactly. Here's some, Costa Rican, here's some Nigerian, here's some, whatever.
Yeah.
Love it.
Here's some Folgers.
Well, that's the thing is that
Here's
now
a guy
that
with the poncho. Remember him? The guy that was in your
kinda shows up
closet
in
with
the
a
back.
donkey and a burro and a little poncho.
But it is interesting because I feel like I've become a coffee snob, or I'm so like used to really robust coffee that now whenever I go like to an IHOP or a place, it just feels like it's
I can't
water.
even do it.
I can't handle
Yeah,
it.
and then if they don't have the real cream and it's that white oil business,
No,
I can't do it.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, believe it or not, games are also really terrific Thanksgiving or holiday host and hostess presents. And one that we've loved for years is Apples to Apples. It basically is, it's kind of like, word comparisons, and there's no right or wrong answer,
Yeah.
and you're given like a bunch of cards, and, it might be names of different celebrities, and out of the blue you're trying, and it's not only descriptives, but celebrities, and you're trying to guess if,
George Clooney.
Handsome.
Like that kind of
exactly.
stuff. Right.
And it might be bold or different descriptives and then names of people.
That's it.
And you're trying to guess that if your word is George Clooney, that I'm saying that, and my card says that, sensitive. I'm putting sensitive down and hoping that you're going to agree that George Clooney is sensitive, as opposed to someone else's card that says charismatic.
I see.
Okay. And so it's kind of
That's
fun.
apples to apples.
That's apples to apples.
Okay.
It's a great group game for kids and adults of all ages.
You know what else is cute? Bring art supplies. So that while you're during the meal, you can doodle. You can put down some craft paper, some crayons, some anything you can imagine to create even your own headpieces while you're
Cute.
pre-dinner, so that everybody has on either a little pilgrim hat they make or a little Native American feather thing, some kind of art supplies. We did this one year. It was fun.
Uh-huh.
So we had feathers, we had little beads, we had craft paper, tape and glue, and Sharpies, and we each made our own headdress.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't want to wear it because you're having a good hair day.
You're going to wear it. Yeah, you're going to wear it. No, it's fantastic.
Great.
Yeah, we may mess up. If someone maybe 60 plus that has the big hairspray hairdo, maybe not going to work.
All right.
But most of us can put it on.
All right.
Yeah.
Some other ideas, things you can give to the host and hostess. I love the idea of giving something that keeps giving back. How about something like an herb growing kit?
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. And it's something it's ideal for, let's say, someone who lives in a smaller space. They don't have a garden.
Yeah.
And this little growing kit, it's going to sit and it's going to work perhaps right in your windowsill, right in your kitchen area.
That's a salad in a box.
Salad in a box.
Yeah.
And these are sold everywhere, like at the big box stores or garden supply places, hardware stores, kind of
Very
a neat
nice
little
idea.
thing. Especially if the host or hostess is a cook.
I like it.
And now they can use their herbs.
Who can forget a platter of fresh cheeses?
Oh, yeah.
Gourmet cheeses, with the little apricot spread or
great.
And the great crackers. The specialty markets sell this stuff, and I think it makes a huge
You
difference.
mean artisanal?
Artisanal cheeses. Hey, and then at the end of the meal you go, listen, thank you so much for coming and bringing that platter of artisanal cheeses.
You're so well read. But it's interesting when my husband and I and some friends were in San Francisco. We went out to this great restaurant and we thought we'd start out with some cheeses, and it was a really it's now become a laughing stock because they brought out this little platter, and I want to say that it was $30 or $40 for these cheeses.
7 cubes of cheese.
Are you ready for this? It was 4 little cubes, and they were smaller than the size of a dice.
No way.
And we were like, wow. And we're like just bringing out the knife and trying to cut it up into little squares. It was the biggest ripoff.
I hate that.
They must have been 100-year-old cheese. I don't know what. And it was a really weird experience. But I mean, that was...
Where was it? San Francisco?
I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was in San Francisco. So don't do that.
Don't do the artisanal cheese.
Yeah. Now, gift baskets, you talked about cheeses. I mean, you can make your own gift basket. You can make your own collection of artisanal whatevers. Maybe it's salsas. Oh,
that's good, with chips and maybe salsas from around the world.
I love salsas from around the world, or maybe it's meats, like different kind of salamis, or fill in the blank nuts, chocolates.
Yes.
So something as simple as that and a great basket. And you
tons of different companies do that stuff online too.
I know.
If you want to do a last minute, I'm going to order before I come.
And
then you walk in and you go, oh, there's my basket.
See?
I hope all this worked out for you. Did the artisanal cheeses and the fresh sausages show up? That's right.
Now, you can never have too many kitchen tools, especially wooden spoons.
Yeah.
And you can go to some of these inexpensive places. In fact, I think I was over at Big Lots only to find that, wow.
Wait, listen, I got to ask you a question. Does Big Lots actually sell kitchen stuff?
Yes.
Really?
Cheaper than Target.
I thought it was like playground furniture.
No. So check this out.
It sounds like, listen to you, like we found the golden chalice.
It is a gold mine. They have like blenders and coffee makers and pots and pans.
This is your secret new retail store, isn't it?
I mean, you have to kind of be bright. You have some brands may not work for you, certain styles, I mean, to each his own, but I needed some kitchen wooden spoons, and I couldn't believe that everywhere I went, it either said Rachel Ray on it or whatever, and it was $1.50 for one spoon.
Right.
Are you ready for this? Huh? It was a collection, I want to say, of a dozen for maybe, I don't know, $5. It was a great deal.
So it's a great bargain.
And they were bamboo. And I have them on my drawer because you can. I mean, I'm always like I'm ruining one or burning it or whatever. But here's the thing: as a nice Hostess gift, there are a bunch of websites. If you ever go to Etsy.com, Etsy is the artsy craftsy shopping place. Yeah. When you go on Etsy, there are people who will laser engrave, and you still have time. Laser engrave your kitchen tools with the name of the host and the hostess or the initials, the Stromers.
Oh my God,
that's
big
great.
S. Wait a minute, I'm on the website now of Big Lots, and they literally have beds, canned goods, shovels. They've got everything. It's all here.
Yeah,
you're right. Tabletop decor.
Well,
now I'm going crazy for Big Lots.
Well,
they've got Barbie dolls.
Okay, so hold on a second. You can shop
moly.
later. Anyway, we have more fun things to talk about. You're listening to Home Wizards, and by the way, we'll put this all on our website at yourhomewizards.com. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole. You're listening to Home Wizards.